they're just blind to any of the maneuvers that Dart are putting in. It's putting them in a very bad position. They're just going to be roaming ganks from the Shadow Demon and Leshrac. You know, they're just such a strong combination. Disruption into Soul Catcher, into another stun from Leshrac, and they've got the tower pushing power of the Edict. Yeah, Morphling still down here pushing like a boss. There's a smoke going on to Shadow Demon there, so they're probably looking for a smoke gank with him and Leshrac.
They're not stacking the camps, they're just single pulling. I'm not sure why they're choosing that method. That's gonna give them a bit of a push later. Oh look, they're coming in for the gank. They're coming in for the... They see him.
Oh, here they come.
Oh, but unfortunately, Lesh is too far away. Lesh is too far away.
Oof, and here comes the clockwork. Got the stun off.
And they body block him.
Trying to deny himself to the creeps.
No, they body block him. There's nothing he can do. He tried to do himself in this, but they body blocked him so that he didn't have... Morphling possibly picking somebody, but unfortunately.
He may be able to get this Leshrac if his wave comes off cooldown. Oh, he's too slow. Bloody 4 hooves, way too fast. Oh, Morphling doesn't even have his boots. No way he can catch a Leshrac without boots.
I think his strategy is he's building into something else at first. You look at his money, he's got 1300, just bought it. What did he buy?
He bought a Ring of Health.
What has he just bought? He just bought something. He had a Ring of Health already. He had 1,000, he had 1300 gold. Doesn't say he's got anything.
No, he just picked up a Void Stone from the secret shop that's on the courier. So, he's going to that. He's probably going to go into a Lincoln Sphere, probably.
So he's looking to rush a Lincoln Sphere.
Yeah, no, it's a very good idea on him because it gives you every stat, and that's what you want when you're picking up Morphling. You just go for that. You go for things like Eye of Scathy, you know, Lincoln Sphere, Manta Style, Cruel, great choices. Weaver is slowly clawing his way back up.
Yeah, he's not really there to. He's really there to try and shut down whoever's opposing him. And at this stage, he's not doing it. He's not shutting down Gyro now. Gyro's started. He's got his good start. But still, they're still on it.
Yeah, no. But yeah, Morphling still got the most going, but you've still got the freaking Leshrac and Shadow Demon wandering around through the forest.
Yeah, they picked off a courier there as well.
And a courier pick off.
Yeah, Edict just smashing him with that Soul Catcher on him.
Oh yeah, you can't. Oh, he's gonna die to this Edict if he's not careful.
And he is.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful split earth.
Tree no healing.
Warping to
wow, last second mana save.
Oh, and Dragon Knight comes in as well. Jeez, KK are getting precious hard.
Tower is not what it used to be. That is for certain.
Yeah, you know, Diet know that they've got a tree on the other side. They don't have this particularly heavy burst damage team other than Queen of Pain, so they know they can sort of just pressurize them. If they know the Queen's in the middle, they know they don't have that burst DPS, so they can take the chance to dive.
Yeah, that Queen of Pain, you know, she still hasn't rotated through, started into the ganks. You know, she's still sitting there farming. There's a lot of warden going on through the Radiance jungle right there.
They're just being dominated in terms of map control. You can see that if I just change the view to diver, you can see they've got all that ward control in their jungle, as you've already specified, you've already said. But they've got defensive wards there as well, so they can see them coming. Just they're taking a path where they didn't see them.
Yeah, swinging around through there. I mean, they've got all their wards concentrated all in one position. Ah, very nice. Here comes a Dragon Knight in stealth. Spotted out by the Queen of Pain. And she's dewarding.
And she's stuck. She's out of position. She's got no blink. She's stuck.
And an Edict and a Dragon. She's dead. That was a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful cogs and hook there from Clockwork.
And now Clockwork's stuck. They're looking to try and get him out by making a hole, but he's stuck. He has no way to get out until he's got that mounted TP. He could potentially be ganked, but they're not aware, they don't realise.
He teleport scrolls out.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Meanwhile, this race between the Morphling and the Gyro still going on.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Morphling still slightly ahead, but Gyro, no, they're both neck and neck in terms of CS.
Yeah, I'm favouring the Gyro at this
Unfortunately-
stage, but the rest of the team is not doing as well as this Morphling is.
Yes, no, I mean, the Queen of Pain has got a reasonably decent amount of farm. You know, actually, the Weaver is caught up as well. He has a reasonable amount of farm. So, you know, out of the top 5, 3 of them all belong to KK. They are farming reasonably well. They're just losing out on the kills. Thus, that'll throw in the net worth in favour of Diet. They've got, like, Dark up there, he's almost 1,000 gold ahead of the Morphling just from the kill and assist that he got at first blood. So powerful and so important.
Dire's bottom tower is
You know, but Queen of Pain is only
Wow.
like 1 CS behind.
They pick off another guy. They're going to pick off Morphling here as well. Yeah.
Oh, they picked
This
up
Shadow
Morphling.
Demon Lishrak combo just punishing them.
Warping to strength. In comes the Queen of Pain.
She
Can
misses
the
half of
Can the
them.
Morphling make it away? Oh, he's dead.
And she's out of mana. She's out of mana. She's not going to be able to get out of here.
Comes through. He's got enough for a blink. Okay, they take the Lishrak. They take the Lishrak. Dragonite still chasing them down. So tanky.
Man, Diet really
Queen of
pushing
Pain.
their advantage. There's KK under a lot of pressure here.
Regenerate a bit of mana.
You can see they're under a lot of pressure here. You can see they're being punished by good
Radiant's
play.
middle tower
That
is
Shadow
under
Demon
attack.
Lishrak combo just really wreaking havoc amongst them. You can see 7-2. It seems that there's a pause on the horizon. You know, there's only 1,500 XP in it, and there's only 3,000 gold. So the lead is not substantial in terms of they can come back quite easily, but they're really taking advantage of this Lishrak Shadow Demon combo. Not sure what this pause is for.
I've just had notice from somebody listening to our show. Apparently, there's no sound going on.
No sound in game or no sound from us at all?
No sound from the Twitch stream.
That's unusual. Let me check out.
And then we should both stop talking at the same time.
Let me check out. Oh, there's sound. I can hear it.
Okay, well, somebody's just useless then.
No, it might be no game sound because I turned the game sound down. Let me just make some adjustment.
Okay, well, somebody's just.
Right, yeah, it's a bit of a minute delay. There's definitely sound there. Perhaps their settings in their taskbar is not working. But I'll go to turning back the game sound back up and see if that makes a difference.
Okay, well, there's just one person saying it so far, so we should be okay.
It did sound
And it
just
gives us
earlier.
something to talk about during this pause.
Did the in-game
Yeah.
casters this time, being the event casters actually having a co-host who actually seem, you know, not to degrade them in any sense of the way because they're doing a good job in running the event, but the casting in the sort of elimination pools wasn't so fantastic. It was just one guy, he was on his own, he was kind of out of his depth a little bit, but you can hear now that the in-game caster is actually quite good as well.
Yeah, no, he's picked up something. People are talking about it in the in-game chat, and I think it's somebody who's related to one of the teams. He definitely knows what he's talking about. So it's good to have a co-host. It gives you something to talk about. You don't just sit there sitting in silence.
Yeah, let's have a look at the items. The items say here, let's look at a picture from the items. We've got a partially complete Lincoln Sphere on a Morphling. We've got a Nyx slowly building towards his Dagon. It's going to be a while before he gets there. He's only level 4. We've got a Weaver at level 8. He's got Tranquil Boots. Might be building into a Wing of Aquila. Probably not because there's already one on the Morphling. We've got the Queen of Bane sitting there with her bottle. She's got her trends. She's got 2 vestments. What is that for?
She'll be working her way in towards a Orchid Malevolence. She just needs all the extra intelligence that the Robe of the Magi get, so she'll go in for a couple of ganks and work it into a quarterstaff.
Yeah, we've got a tree there. He's got his the only items you really need is some kind of mana regeneration and to get mana boots. So he's doing well. On Diet's side, we've got partially done BKB and phase boots on the gyro. On the DK here, we got he's got shreds and just a shield. Down to Lesh. Nothing amazing really there. It's still kind of early game, I guess, but I like what I'm seeing out of the Radiant in terms of their items. These other guys, this other team, they've got 2 Rings of Balances. They've got their 2 Desperation Braces. They've got some good core items to sort of help with their last hitting and damage and sort of survivability. But I like the mentality of KK. They're rushing particular items. I think that's what they're going to need to do in this game.
Yeah, I mean, good item choices is such a key part of like any strategy for playing in this game, and you need to know what you need to get on the characters. The Morphling working towards, he's already picked up his Ring of Aquila. He's working towards his Lincoln Sphere, which is going to prevent disruptions from the Shadow Demon. It's going to prevent the hooking. It's going to prevent the stuns from the Dragon Knight. It's such an important item, especially when on the carry like that. And he benefits so strongly from the mana, health regen, and just the basic stats of that Ultimate Orb. There's a good chance you'll see the same thing being picked up on the Weaver if he can ever get enough farm to buy it.
Does anyone know what the pause is for? No one's DC'd.
According to the chat, quick masty. But other than that, I don't know.
They have got a schedule they need to stick to. Although the best of 5 final doesn't start to 7, we don't want to chew up all the time in the first game. We're already 25 minutes into it. Morphling gone for some reason, I think, reading this.
Oh, he's had to leave his computer. Interesting. Well, I mean, you could see a quick forfeit like coming out of KK if they don't have their Morphling back.
Could be 5 minutes on pause. I don't know, I didn't keep a timer, so I have no idea what we're at to now, but it's been at least 2 minutes. Perhaps it's a strategic pause. They're trying to regroup and think their strategy a bit more. But this early in the game, I don't think so.
Oh, jeez. So the chat's already coming out in there. KK already giving up. Dart too strong.
Oh,
so you're going to see a GG at 15 at this rate. And the answer to Lat Boss's question is her name is Northwest.
Northwest? How do you know this?
I browse the internet. I find these things out. Yeah, Kanye West and Kim Kardashian's child is called Northwest.
Here we go. Seems we're unpausing. Not checking to unpausing, just randomly unpausing. Away we go. Morphling's still AFK.
Yeah, Morphling and...
Yeah, 5 minutes has expired. They've chosen to act on it.
No, Morphling's there. He just sat there warping his stats around. So he's back. So we've still got this Weaver versus this Gyro up top, which I do favour now that he...
No, there's some Queen of Pain's coming invisible, looking to try and pull her out.
With thanks.
Oh, this could be good if
it's
Weaver
expired.
can...
He needs that mana.
That's okay, she can blink through the trees. There's no line of sight on him.
Really, they really want to gank this guy.
Meanwhile,
they really do, but it's going to be hard.
Meanwhile, in the mid lane, we notice there's all this missing. Alright, so they're just going to push hard in the centre. There's no one there to answer. Maybe get this down.
Yeah, they're probably going to take this tower. Oh yeah, 4 of them there, no response. The edict up only on the tower. It's going to fall in seconds.
As Radiant's middle tower falls,
Queen of Pain rotates back out down to the middle. Too late. Should have stayed there for the Gyro.
Gyro strategically hid himself in the jungle once there was a missing core and they were pushing the tower, so she couldn't see where he was anyway.
So they're coming down to try and deal with Morphling again.
Yeah, Diet showing their skill here. They're rotating, constant rotation. Morphling's going to get caught
You
out.
need to run Morphling.
He has no idea.
It's going to be hit. Oh, big miss there. And
Aye.
teleport away.
Ah,
Beautiful
nice.
play by the Morphling there. Terrible hook by the Clockwork there.
And here we go. We're going to push this bottom tower. Is there going to be a response?
There's a push up on the top tower.
There's going to be 6 dragons attacking this tower. Right? 4
Radiant's
dragons.
bottom tower is under attack.
Hmm.
Dire's middle tower
That's
is under
3 dragons too many in my opinion.
War has come to Radiant's bottom tower. Radiant structures
Meanwhile,
are fortified with 12
Well, they're trying to push top, but
important
they're not going
vitamins.
to get it.
Dire's
This
middle
bottom tower's going to drop in.
They can't.
Radiant's
They can't.
bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower has
They need
been
Morphling there to really
laid
push a tower. He's doing a real damage deal on there.
Now they TP top to answer the tower push.
You know, they barely did any damage to the tower there, even the 3 of them there. You know, the tree is almost dead instantly. Nyx is on half-life. Weaver is getting away on almost half-life, and he's popped his time-lapse. You know, who's teleporting in? Got a Leshrac incoming. Got a Shadow Demon incoming. You know, got a Dragonite just turned up. Got a Gyros turned up. It's going to be a slaughter if they catch any of them.
They need a stun. The stun on DK. Yeah, the stun on the DK is there. They're
Yeah,
close.
but without his dragon form, he needs to be too close to do it, so he's probably not going to be able to catch him out
Homing
unless
missile.
he is very zippy.
The homing missile on the Nyx or the tree.
The home missile takes too long to charge up. Oh no, is it on the ground? No, it's not. But he still needs to charge up the homing missile. He can possibly hit the Nyx with it. The Nyx, however...
He just needs
no,
to buy that
he's-
time for the rest of his
He's
team to
only
get in.
level 4, he can't even go into stealth.
Do it on the
And
tree. He'll do it on the
doesn't
tree.
even doesn't have a level on his nature's guise.
Yeah, he'll do it on the tree because the Nyx will choose to carapace out of it. So, well, not out of it, but he'll counter stun by using that if he can. They'll do it on the tree because it might even just kill him.
They can't see the tree. He's out of line of sight for them. They can only see the Nyx, who's just about to disappear out of their line of sight, and they can't see the Weaver. He's possibly still in tower range. They might be able to see him, but he'll be out of tower range almost instantly. So they may all get away from this. I think that they're probably not going to be fast enough to catch up to them.
You know, this Clockwork playing really, really well on
Queen of
bottom. I said this in the last game with Dai. They had a particular role for a particular individual, which was Feng. He would walk forward, he'd absorb all the damage, and then when all the abilities had been used, he'd rage and there'd be a silence and it'll just sort of rush in to finish off the rest of the team. We're getting a similar tactic here, but this time it's Clockwork. He's going forward, he's blocking the angle of cogs, he's getting in first before the rest of the team, if there is no Dragon Knight, so that he can, in fact, act as the bait.
Yeah, I mean the Clockwork, he's always one of their first, and you know you can tell that he's an excellent Clockwork. He's just picking people up out of position. He knows where to be. He's missing a few of his hooks, but he's still landing most of them, which is always nice. You know, he's responsible for all the ganks, and he's cogging very, very, very well. This Queen of Pain here, she's uncontested in the middle. She's got a wave of creeps. She may just sit here and force down this middle tower, so there could be a lost tower coming out for the Dire side, but unfortunately it's only the first one, and Radiant's already lost their front 3 towers, you know, which gives, yeah, I mean the dual difference is still only, what, just under 5,000 gold, and the XP, you know, just under 1,500.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Catch out the net.
Catch out the next.
Tree gets away, Weaver gets away.
The Dire structures cannot be hurt. Dire's middle tower is not what it used to be.
It's
That
just
is for
punishment
certain.
Dire is pushing out on these guys. They can't withstand this kind of punishment for much longer. They're only 15 minutes into the game. No, there's still more game to go. But if this pace maintains for the next 10 minutes, there's KK's in a little trouble.
Well, I mean, KK, looking at even the net worth, the Dragon Knight's ahead of the rest of their team. The gyrocopters are ahead of the rest of the team. I mean, Morphling's fallen behind, you know, the Queen of Pain in terms of farm. He's just been ganked out too many times, hasn't managed to gank in turn. But the thing about the Morphling is that he is very, very scary. He can do a hell of a lot of damage. Looks like they're forcing through. They're probably going to take the second tier tower on top lane.
Oh no! Wow, well played.
Comes in, Queen of Pain comes in, Clockwork's dead. Morphling comes in. This dragon
and they catch them all. They catch them all. Excellent play. Just as I say, they need to pull it back. They need to pull it back now. Can't maintain this pressure for the rest of the game. They show me right there. They can do it. Excellent overlapping of skill. Did it perfectly. They knew SD was down. They saw that the SD had been used up on. Right. They knew that the disruption was down, so they knew it had been used. So they went in for the engagement.
Yeah, absolute great turnaround. They're probably going to come through here, try and force down this tower. Most of them are coming back. The Dragonite's back, the Gyro's back, Leshrack's coming in, but they may trade out. Lose the tower for this.
Yeah, you look at the graph. Look at the graph. It's gone from 1500 in favour of the Dire to 1600 in favour of the Radiant just from that one team fight.
Wow, that is a huge XP turnaround.
Nor hell. Dire's top tower is
still a big gold advantage, but that graph is definitely looking much more in favour of KK. They can keep that up, it should be fine. And that gave Morphling some much needed money. Now I just wander back down to farming, everybody splits off, took the tower. Middle tower's very close to dying. So they're probably going to see them trying to push through, keep on pushing through, take out middle tower just for that extra gold.
You can see there's everyone. Diet's happy here to sort of back off and sort of resume farming as normal. Whereas you can see KK, they're sort of clustering in the middle here. They're doing that thing that I talked about earlier. I don't know what it's called. I haven't got a name for it yet. But they're sort of meandering around where they want to be together. They want to do something, but they don't have a direct plan. They haven't got direction. That's just lost time. Whereas you can see Diet, no lost time. Immediately fall back into their roles. Either that be stacking or pushing the lanes, there's no hesitation. They immediately know, right, we're going back to those roles. Whereas you can see with the KK, they don't know what to do. They don't know what to do. They're just kind of just hanging around.
Yeah, I mean, Morphling went back straight away to farming. He was just like, I've got to keep farming, I need to get my... he's going to push up here, probably going to take down this tower pretty quick. Everybody else sitting here defending mid.
No TP's coming in.
You know, they would have spotted... None at all. You know, with the water there, they probably spotted Diet wandering down through middle. Gyro comes up, but Morphling's already teleported back.
Yeah, so this one is smart. He's teleported to the other side of the map, so what he's doing is he's pushing the tower, he's waiting for the TPs to come in. As soon as he sees a TP, he TPs to the exact opposite side of the map, knowing that whoever TP'd in, they're not going to be able to respond for at least another 30 seconds.
Yeah, and he's really catching up in his farm now, which is good. He desperately needs that Lincoln Sphere. And, you know, for all the meandering around that KK is doing, Diet is also doing quite a bit of meandering around. You know, you've got Shadow Demon in the forest just wandering around, you've got Dragon Knight.
Like I said, he reverted to his role. He was attempting to stack, but he failed.
You know, Leshrack's just wandering around, you know, Clockwork just wandering around. Everybody's wandering around except for Bloom and the two carries who are just free farming.
No, see, I disagree. You see Leshrack and Shadow Demon, they're not meandering around. They're looking for either rune control or ganks. See, they just smoked now.
Well, they're smoked up. There's an invisibility rune there.
DK was farming.
But they're going to swing through into mid, probably try and catch out that Weaver. Weaver's just going to walk straight into that Leshrack.
Oh, he's revealed.
He broke the smoke, they know that they're there.
Wow.
Queen of Pain knows it's
good evasion.
Away.
Good evasion there. But as I was saying before, it may have looked like they were near around, but I was following them. They were clearly trying to do certain things. He was trying to stack, he went to farming. Where's Radiant? They're all sort of hanging behind this tower, not really gaining any XP.
Morphling finally picked up his ultimate orb. He's going to come on through.
Oh, nice offensive warding. That sentry ward right next to the tier 2 tower in the mid lane. That's That's going to be
Oh,
useful.
that's very nice.
Given that they've got
Yeah,
this.
Morphling immediately jumps back down to bottom.
He's playing the smart. Playing the safe game. He believes he can out carry the gyro. He's going to play that long game. He's going to just try and avoid. But he's going to get caught out. They're going to catch on to this.
Well, he still has his replicant up, so he can always teleport back to his replicant. This is the thing about the Morphling replicant thing. You can just put in another lane, you can teleport to that lane, you can just teleport back and forward, back and forward. He's got 3, 2, 1, he might teleport back. Nice. And he teleports back straight over to his replicant. Goes back to mid.
Right, like they're trying to force a team fight here. They can see one. They can see one up top. They can see Weaver's out of position, so they're going to go for it.
In comes Dragonite. Oh, and a double stun. And he's
So much damage from the Queen of Pain. Morphling is just
Huge
tanking
amount
this
of
out.
damage.
Morphling is just tanking this out. He's not going
he's
down.
Morphling his strength as fast as he can. He still survives it all.
Wow.
Gyro and such low hit points. Clockwork goes down. He's desperately going for the gyro. Dodges through.
Right.
Literally
back off.
Ult up.
Need to back off. This TP is going out.
They're 2 for 1. That was a great trade-off. It was 2 of the supports for
Man,
Queen of Pain, but that Morphling, he tanks it all.
Yeah,
That's the power. That's the power of that level 4 morphed strength. You can tank so much damage.
Hey, but also he had the heal from the tree at the same time, so he was just absolutely tanking out that damage.
And that's surviving that, I think, given Morphling just enough for his Lincoln Sphere, so he ain't going to be caught up by a Dragon Tail again.
Look at that. You can see the XP graph way now in the favour of the Radiant. They've managed to pull back, which was looking to be quite a dismal game. They're now coming into their peak in terms of their heroes. They're now coming into the right phases of the game for their heroes to probably work more effectively.
And the goal distance has just been narrowing and narrowing. You know, only 2,500 between the two teams. Comes again, tree ults, Clockwork's trapped. Weaver and Nyx.
Yeah. And possibly another
Weaver's
night.
still chasing them down. So much damage.
Great. You can see now
Rest of the Sentry Ward down there.
KK coming into their element now. They sense blood. They're pushing this.
Dire structures are fortified.
Yeah.
Super.
This tower's going to go down, and the gold difference from the team is going to shrink even more, especially with
Yeah.
that kill on
Yeah.
Clockwork there.
They've gotten over that psychological hump. So 5 minutes ago, 10 minutes ago, they're in a position where they weren't feeling psychologically comfortable. They knew that it wasn't going their way. They got that team kill. Now they're just they've got that confidence and that presence on the battlefield. They're pushing where before they were just sort of hanging back.
Yeah, and they've started getting some of the key items. Queen of Pain has her Orchid Malevolence. Morphling has his Lincoln Sphere. He's still mucking around, but he's been playing a solid support, warding constantly. Got his Mana Boots. Weaver's got his Yasha. Probably going to build that into D's probably Amanda style. Things are turning out. Oh, but there's a big gank coming down here on Morphling. Into the forest. Can he teleport away? So much
Oh
damage,
wow, so much
quickly.
damage.
Can't morph fast enough.
He can't what's fun, yeah. But he was he tanked so much damage there.
The sheer amount of health that you gain from the level 4 morph shrink is crazy.
But like I said before, they're going to catch on to Morphling. They're going to catch him. They're going to wait. They know where this plan
Radiant's
is.
bottom tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified.
Here they come, forcing the tower. With the Morphling gone, it's going to be very hard for them to counter this.
Oh, nice. Oh, excellent. Excellent flat cannon. Stun and a flat
Beautiful
cannon.
by Weaver there.
Queen of Pain coming in,
Queen of Pain
but
does so
just
much
not
damage.
enough damage. Not enough.
Weaver swing, going to finish off the Shadow Demon there.
Now, can he escape? Can he get out?
Oh, he has no mana. Oh, he
Oh,
has
just
mana
enough.
for his Sakuchi. Oh, they're hunting for him. But I think he's managed to dodge out. He's going to get to the shot.
The Queen of Pain's sort of harrying in the side there, so they've decided they're going to pull out. That's a victory for them. They put a damage on the tower. They took 2 heroes. They only lost the Shadow Demon, who's not really worth a lot in terms of net worth. So they're not giving up a lot. And they took down that Morphling as well as who else did they take down?
Next.
Yeah, Nyx. And I think they took down Tree too, didn't they?
Oh yeah, they took down Tree, they took down Nyx, took down Morphling. The only survivors being Weaver and Queen of Pain.